Shalom, family. Good to be back doing what I do. Um, I was gonna start this live off with this song called "Pure" by Hezekiah. Um, and that's Hezekiah with YAH at the end. At the end, if you haven't heard it and don't know who he is, please check that song out. It's very powerful. Shout out to the Aki. But I didn't want to get this, flagged for copywriting and all that, because that tends to happen when I put music on here. Because this is a very, very important topic, especially for the time that we're in now, right? Um, Family, I know us being, the chosen ones and all the stuff that we've gone through, that this walk does get lonely sometimes, you know. Um and we have to be very careful with that and stay spiritually conditioned, because that could cause us to fall into these traps like future faking, okay? And before I go into a little bit of my own story and experience with this, I went to this site. It looks like it's called Ask Men, Become a Better Man, or what, I think that's the name of it. But it's talking about what future faking is and the harm that it causes, right? And it says future faking is painting a picture's relationship future, either verbally or through small gestures, to the person you have only begun to date. A future faker might tell you that they'd love to take you to their family's gorgeous cabin in Maine, or maybe they'd express how excited they are for you to bond with their parents. They may even make jokes about getting engaged, and this has happened to me so many times. I mean, not even making jokes about it, actually getting engaged with either no intentions to go through with the marriage, or no intentions to treat you even half right in the relationship, right? And it says going as far to promise a +1 spot to a wedding they're going to months down the line. In reality, they aren't making any effort to ensure those things happen, right? Many singles are desperately searching for love, so it stands to reason that you will fall for it. These relationships often end suddenly, and they do, maybe with ghosting, and it does happen, leaving you wondering what just happened, right? And this is the section about what makes it so harmful. Not only does future faking force you to face the reality that your relationship was built on illusions, a whole sham, y'all, but you may also feel like the person you were developing feelings for betrayed your trust. In some cases, a future faker may split before ever offering up any explanation for all their broken promises, because that's all it is, a bunch of broken promises and hot air, right? You lower your guard thinking you just met your person, and I talked about that in the last video, how I had that this is the one syndrome. That's what I called it. But you didn't. It will leave you questioning everything, and your self-confidence is surely going to take a big hit. That's if you're not spiritually conditioned, and if you haven't dealt with your past trauma and all this stuff, this stuff is going to sound like, I'm like heaven to you, right? It says It's particularly traumatic for people who are already anxious, depressed, or haven't healed from past trust issues. And that's what I was talking about. It could trigger a large amount of pain and suffering all over again. The feeling of being duped, robbed, or abandoned never feels good. But for people who are struggling with an experience or multiple experiences that have hurt them, future faking can cause them to emotionally recall feelings of anguish and shock, right? It says, how can you spot a future faker? Unfortunately, you might not realize you were dating a future faker until you're scratching your head over all the plans they never pulled through on, family. Experts agree that there are certain ways to tell if someone is intentionally behaving this way. Now, it goes into talk about that, but I'm about to talk about my experience with this, right? Now, when you first meet somebody, and right out the gate, these people start talking about, marriage and meeting their kids and taking these trips and starting businesses and all this stuff. They paint you a whole picture of like what your future is going to be, with them having no intentions on making any of this stuff happen, right? It's the carrot dangling. And the reason being, they know that once you get to know who they really are, family, you're not going to want to deal with them. So recently, like I said, I call myself getting back into the dating scene or whatever. So I met a guy, and immediately it's like he's trying to change my whole world around. He's gonna make everything better. Put it like this, right? But I sat back and started noticing when these people meet you, they are already looking at you enviously. And that's that light that we carry, y'all. They want to know what it is, what even made them want to talk to you. So once they start seeing all this light that you carry, it turns into envy real fast. The very thing that made you attracted to them is the very thing that they're going to hate you for, family. So I just started noticing little things and went out to go dance and whatever. Had a good time. I'm not never going to let my energy down for nobody. But I do notice stuff. So at the beginning of the relationship or whatever, they always talk about how much confidence they have, right? In reality, there is none. You have these are very broken people that haven't dealt with their issues and have a lot of anger and resentment towards people that have dealt with their issues. And that's where that light comes from. It's the inner work that we do on the inside, right? Shout out to whoever's watching. I see y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. So I started noticing little things. So we go out dancing or whatever, and he picks me up. I get in the car, and it was like, oh no, I need to go back to the house and put on, my best stuff. I can't have you looking like, who in the world, family? Who in the world competes with somebody that they're trying to build a relationship with? Okay, this is not the first time this has happened to me. That's why I'm able to recognize it when I see it. Your significant other should not be in they should be glad, like me and my homegirl was talking today. You know what I'm saying? If somebody was going out with me and they look nice, I'm gonna be glad to have that person beside me, not trying to compete with them or trying to one up them. These I call them beings because, man, These beings have a warped sense of reality and just a twisted mindset, family. And it's all because they have no authenticity. When we walking around as chosen ones, doing what we do, you know what I'm saying? We're not thinking about trying to be better than nobody. We just being ourselves. So that was the red flag. It's been many red flags. But this future faking stuff, if you are not spiritually conditioned, right? If you have not dealt with those issues of abandonment, because that's the difference. We have gone through the same things that they have gone through, but we chose to do the inner work to not let that stuff get in the way of building meaningful relationships with people, not just looking for what you can get out of somebody, right? So I had to sit back and just kind of look at past relationships. And I used to think, and at a time it was, you attract sometimes what you are, but you also, when you've healed, you're going to attract the broken too. And I went through that stage of thinking, something was wrong with me. What do I need to fix? But it's not you. It's not you. These people have not healed from whatever trauma that they went through, right? So, and they know once you figure out, because the mask comes out, and when you really done the research on this stuff, and when you really look back at past experiences, it won't be hard to tell anymore. Like, it's real easy to see this stuff now. And I'm not going to I'm not in the business of trying to hang on to nobody to see what. Once I recognize this stuff, it's time for me to go. Because I'm not about to. And this is not just in, romantic relationships. This happens in friendships. This happens in work relationships. Employers do this stuff to hold on to, somebody that they can keep as a slave. They know you're going to do what you're supposed to do on the job. So maybe they're dangling this promotion or dangling this raise or whatever over your head in front of your face to make you keep on doing what you're doing, family. It is sick. It is sick and it is sad. Anybody that is living like this and thinks like this really needs to get some type of help. I mean, and even then, you know what I'm saying? It takes a whole lot. And if you continue, you have to play it out. Once you've already seen them flags, just be prepared to go through what you're going to go through. Be prepared to go through, devaluation. Be prepared to go through disrespect. And they'll do things like, one of the things, him knowing I don't eat pork, right? Why would you invite me to your house? Now, from the moment I met you and we went out to eat, we already talked about me not eating pork. Why would you invite me to your house and the whole meal is prepared with bacon? Okay? And you talking about you forgot. This is the type of stuff these people do. They try to trigger you. They try to do things to get up under your skin to make you react in ways that's going to make you look crazy. But I just pushed the pork on to the side and ate my little chicken, The world that we live in is really, really twisted, y'all. We have to go against everything that comes natural to us, being loving, genuine people, to keep our guards up. We can't even just be real, be open with people, because they're looking for something to use against you. Now, with me, if I tell somebody something, about me, just like I get on here, if I talk about something in my personal life, I've already worked through that. So it's nothing that you can do to trigger me with that stuff. And if it's anything that I'm still working to, those are those things I keep to myself, because I don't need any influences. The one thing I always pray for, family, is wisdom. If I don't get nothing else, please give me your wisdom, Father God, because everything else will fall into place. You don't have wisdom, if you don't have discernment, you're in trouble. Because I've been there. I was gullible and naive, didn't have no understanding, thought that I'm in the clouds, thinking that everybody got the same type of heart as me. And it's not true. I had to learn that from the people that I love most, the people that were closest to me. Just because they have age don't mean they have wisdom. Right? So I'm gonna close. This was like heavy on me, because that's the beginning of the trouble with a relationship with a toxic or narcissistic person, is the love bombing and the future faking. And if you're still in a broken place and still desperate, you know what I'm saying, for that companionship, and you're gonna get taken real fast. Real fast. It happened to me. But I praise God. I give all praises to the Most High that I'm able to see it early now. And he always provides a way of escape. You just gotta take it, right? So I'm gonna close with some scriptures about wisdom. Okay, let me pull it up. And it's from Bible Study Tools, one of my favorite sites when I'm ready to just look up something real quick. James 3:13. Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in the humility that comes from wisdom. Okay? Anybody with real wisdom is not out here trying to future fake and trying to use and abuse people, because that's what they are. They are abusers. I tell people all the time, I would rather somebody physically hit me than take me through some mental and emotional. That's some damage that take a long. You'll heal quick. A black eye heal. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I want to be beat up or nothing like that, but I'm just saying that's low down and that's dirty for you to want to abuse somebody in that type of way. Like it really brings tears to my eyes, because I know what it feels like, and I know what it takes to climb out of that. Job 12:12. Is not wisdom found among the aged? Does not long life bring understanding? You got people at 80 and 90 still running around here like fools. No understanding, no wisdom, no empathy, all that stuff comes with wisdom. And everybody out here knowing stuff, some people just know stuff. They ain't internalizing that stuff. They ain't putting it into action. You know what I'm saying? They ain't doing that. They just know it. And they able to, have a conversation with you and make it look like they somebody that they not. It happens all the time. Proverbs 2:6, and Proverbs is all about wisdom. You know what I'm saying? There's one for every day of the month. And I'm about to get back, start doing that, because back to the basics, right? For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Proverbs 4 and 7. The beginning of wisdom is this: get wisdom. Though it costs all you have, get understanding. Do you hear what I'm saying, family? It's a lot that you're going to have to give up. The materialism and all that stuff. See, I'm glad that don't get me no more. You can promise me all the stuff in the world, and I'm listening to you, but I'm looking at what you're doing. And your walk ain't adding up with your talk, right? I don't give a damn about material stuff. I don't. And if anybody with wisdom and didn't have any hidden motive or agenda really pay attention to you, they'll see that you're not materialistic. Proverbs 11 and 2. When pride comes, then comes disgrace, but with humility comes wisdom. Okay? Proverbs 16:16. How much better to get wisdom than gold, to get insight rather than silver. Wisdom, she's worth, you cannot put a price. Proverbs 17:28. Even fools are thought wise if they keep silent, and discerning if they hold their tongues. And that's one of the things, that oversharing stuff in the beginning. You know, I was big on that, and then wonder why at the end of the relationship, everything private, or you know what I'm saying, precious that I ever shared with this person was used against me. We have to learn to listen to these people, because they're going to tell you exactly who they are. Proverbs 19:8. The one who gets wisdom loves life. The one who cherishes understanding will soon prosper. Proverbs 13:10. Where there is strife, there is pride, but wisdom is found in those who take advice. Psalm 37:30. The mouths of the righteous utter wisdom, and their tongues speak what is just. Ephesians 5:15 through 16. Be very careful how you live. Not as unwise, but as wise, okay? Making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil, family. Talking about right now. Most of these people out here, y'all, that's why he said many are called, few are chosen. Most of these people out here is living foul, y'all, and putting on a facade. And I'm not talking about just in deeds. I'm talking about what's in your heart. You don't know what they doing behind closed doors. Like one person told me, you know what I'm saying? I get bored, I watch porn. Okay, with all these different channels and why not watch a regular movie? I got an issue with people that don't have these sexual addictions and don't have a lust under control, because that can stop a whole lot of stuff when you get that under control. But you're around here desensitizing yourself, looking at, and porn is gay anyway, because you looking at the same stuff that you got and getting aroused. You know what I'm saying? And not saying that I never did it, but when I did my research and knowing what I was getting into, then you make a change. Some people like what they do though, but I don't want it around me. Colossians 4:5 through 6. Be wise in the way you act toward outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. You got to be careful how you handle people. And even when trying to bring light or trying to bring a word, because everybody is in different places. I'm glad the Lord takes his time with us, even showing us things like this, because had I known all this back in the day, you know what I'm saying? I was a violent person. I like to, put my hands, especially on my significant others, working through all them abandonment issues and all of that. Had I known all this stuff back then, it probably wouldn't have went too well, So praise God for his timing and all of that. The one this one right here, this is my key verse, and then I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. Ecclesiastes 2:26. To the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. But to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth to hand it over to the one who pleases God. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. I have to read that again, because this right here is the story of the chosen's life. Do you hear me? To the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. But to the sinner, he gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth, chasing the bag. Do you hear me? Because that's what they do. They real good at making money. They real good at going to the top and dangling all that they have in your face. But this is their task. Gathering it all up, gathering all the wealth up, and handing it right over to the one who pleases God, that one with wisdom. Family, that has been the story of my life. Dealing with narcissists, especially in romantic relationships. I don't give a damn about a designer bag, and I have plenty sitting in the garage, sitting just in the closet. Every pair. I don't do expensive stuff. If I do buy something like that, it's going to be on clearance. He will make your enemy your footstool, family. This is real life. And even as we're transitioning to the new, I call it the new. We're going to see a shift, okay? Chosen ones we are coming into, but it's to always remain humble. I need to sell some of this stuff that give it away. I ain't gonna even sell it. I'm gonna just start giving the stuff away, because it's meaningless, it's pointless. But that verse right there is what did it for me today. So let them do what they do, But we don't have to be participants. We don't have to be sitting back. I'm definitely not sitting back. I've never been one to just sit back and wait on somebody to do something for me. Okay? Family, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves, Don't be afraid to call people on their shit. You got somebody making all these plans. Look here, let's just take this one day at a time. I can't even paint a picture for my own future, for my own self, without someone trying to paint it for me. And it's all a damn illusion to get what they want. And I ain't going for it. At one point in time, I did. You know what I'm saying? I fell for it a lot. And I'm happy, in my own skin now, to where I'm not manipulated by it anymore. And I'm grateful for that. So family, I just wanted to do that quick video about this subject. It's really, really sad that people have to live that way. It has to really suck to be constantly always thinking about how you can get over on somebody and get them to do what you want them to do without just being your authentic self. That has to really, really suck, and it's sad. But I pray for them just like I pray for my friends. I pray for those who are like that, just like I pray for those that love me. But I can't dwell on it, and I won't stay in that position. So I love y'all. I'll be back real soon, as Holy Spirit sees fit. And yeah, family, just keep your eyes open. Love y'all. All praises to the Most High.